We are so excited today to have the opportunity to talk with Pastor Rick Warren of Saddleback Church and his wife Kay about marriage and ministry. Pastor Warren, as you know, we have a large group of ministers and their wives from all over the state of Arizona gathering for this retreat this weekend. And we're thankful that you would come and share with them. But before we get to any questions, I wonder if you might have a word of encouragement or blessing for these folks.
Man, we're all fat.
So you're encouraging us to eat less?
Well, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, so we eat more?
I'm in favor of everybody being able to come to the table.
Got it. So eat more with more people.
I don't believe in premarital sex.
Wait, what? Okay, moving on. Tell me about why you decided to marry Kay.
I don't always make good choices.
Rick could die. I mean, he could die tomorrow.
I make bad choices.
A little bit of a personal question maybe here, but in your very busy lives, traveling all over the world, pastoring a huge church, how's your sex life these days?
It's almost non-existent in many areas.
So sorry to hear about that. So what's to blame?
It's not the fault of any one person. There's plenty enough blame to be passed around.
Shifting gears, I want to ask a few questions about money.
Well, first place, let me give a little personal gripe.
By all means, gripe away.
I don't believe in premarital sex.
Are you going to go on?
Well, no, I'm not.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, and back to asking my question about money. Let me paint a scenario for you, Ricky. What if you had a Lexus that you really wanted really bad? It was red and it was awesome, but you just did not have the money to pay for it. And I know that a lot of pastors that are watching this video are in that position right now. They just don't have enough money to buy a Lexus or a Maserati or things like that really everyone needs. What would be the process that you would go through in that situation to make a decision on whether or not to get that car?
I want it, and I want it now, and I'm going to buy it even if I can't afford it.
So you have no problem with debt?
I'm fundamentally about freedom.
And you believe credit card debt's okay too?
Not only have people done that, the government's done it.
Let's get specific then. I have several credit cards here, several of which are shamefully maxed out. And I was wondering how many of these is too many to be maxed out? Is it the first one?
It's not the second, third, fourth, or fifth.
Okay, so 4, 5. So it's the sixth one.
I don't always make good choices.
You brought up the government. We have a video clip here of the president quoting a scripture from the Bible. Why don't we watch it, and then you give me your thoughts.
And I believe in God's command to love thy neighbor as thyself.
Those train tracks, they just go side by side.
That's very interesting, Kay.
What are you talking about?
The train track thing. What are you talking about?
Those train tracks, they just go side by side.
Oh, I get it. You're saying that time has no directionality and all of history is forever happening simultaneously. These train tracks you speak of embody conflicting forces that are waging an eternal war over the universe's matter and energy. Talk more about this.
Oh, talk more about this. Yeah, please, go on.
That's really all I got out of the train track metaphor. Well, we have an extremely tech-savvy group here in Arizona, and they've tweeted in a few questions, so if you don't mind, I'd like to ask a couple of them. The first one comes from a music minister in Globe, Arizona, and he writes, or he tweets, rather, "It's 115 degrees in Globe in the middle of the summer, and yet my pastor insists on the choir continuing to wear robes. Should they?"
I've been asked that 100 times. And my answer is, there's no verse in the Bible on this. Yes.
This question comes from a pastor's wife in Tucson. Do you think that the University of Arizona will beat ASU in this year's rivalry football game?
Why would anybody expect a Christian pastor to believe anything else?
Hey, well, look, thank you so much, guys, for being willing to take this interview. Is there any final word that you would like to give these ministers and their wives?
I don't believe in premarital sex.
Those train tracks, they just go side by side.